Okay, we're back with expression, student handout number 6. How do we represent grouping? And this is where we're going to start to use the distributive property. And the first section I've kind of already did for you, but we're going to go work through it anyway. It says to draw a picture to represent 2 times the following items. So up here it looks like 3 cupcakes. So if you wanted twice as much, you would draw 3 cupcakes again. And on this side, you have 4 candles, and twice as much will be another set of 4 candles, so you would have twice as much. Okay, so if you need to pause to go ahead and draw that, pause it, and then continue. Our first fill in the blank section says the distributive property shows multiplication in numeric expressions. All right, so we kind of went over this in class, and we just hit it a little bit, not too much. But if you see, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit to the bottom. All right, so what we did above, twice the number of the 3 cupcakes and twice the number of the 4 candles, right? So essentially we did 2 times 3 and then 2 times 4, right? So 2 times 3 is 6, and if you go back and count, we have 6 cupcakes up here, and 2 times 4 is 8, and we have 8 candles that were up here, okay? So what essentially is happening is you're multiplying 2 times 3, and you're going to add that to 2 times 4. So 2 times 3 is 6, and then 2 times 4 is 8. 6 and 8 make 14, all right? So the ones on the bottom, we're going to do these problems together. And it says, for example, you have 2 times the sum of 7 and 8. You remember in the last one, you should be able to read this and know how to set it up, all right? 2 times the sum of 7 and 8. So if it says 2 times a number, 2 is going to be on the outside. 2 times the number of the sum, so I know I'm adding 7 and 8. All right, that is the expression. 2 times the sum of 7 plus 8. All right, so this is how it will work. You would do 2 times 7, so that would be 2 times 7 plus 2 times 8, right? Use the arrows if you need to, right? So now you have 2 times 7 plus 2 times 8, and 2 times 7 is 14, plus 2 times 8 is 16, but you get a total of 30. All right. Next one on this side, it says 3 times the difference of 5 and 4. So 3 times, we know 3 is on the outside. The difference means subtraction of 5 and 4. All right, so that's how you would set up that problem. Once again, draw your arrows. 3 times 5 minus 3 times 4. Okay, now 3 times 5 is 15, and 3 times 4 is 12, and you are left with 3. All right, distributive property is just making sure whatever number's on the outside is getting multiplied by both numbers, and you will just have to check if it's subtracting or adding. Okay, so I want you to try 3 and 4. So pause the video and go ahead and try 3 and 4. We'll come back and work on it. And a hint, you can use the letter N for that. All right, use the letter N for your number. So number 3 says 4 times the sum of a number and 8, right? So a number could be, this is your variable. All right, this can be any letter, but just use N for all of these. So if it says 4 times, we know 4 is going on the outside, plus the sum of a number N, because we don't know that value, plus 8, because the sum tells us to add, right? Same thing that you did above. You're going to take 4, multiply it by n, and then take 4 and multiply it by 8. So now you have 4n plus 4 times 8, which is 32. All right. Now we cannot add 4n plus 32 because they are not like terms. Okay. What I mean is this has 4n. This is just 32. Now if this said 32n, that would be different. Or if this just said 4, you could add. If the terms do not match, you cannot add them. Okay. They need to either have both ends right here or both need to be whole numbers with no variables, okay? So this will be the answer for that problem, all right? Number 4 says twice the difference of 3 and a number. So if we know twice, we know that this is going on the outside, and difference is going to tell us to subtract, and a number, I know that's my variable, and I know that's going to be in, all right? So twice the number of the difference of 3 and a number. Okay, it's not n minus 3 because it says a difference of 3 and a number. So 3 came first. Just like the sum of a number and 8, the number came n came first. Same thing. Multiply it times 2 times 3 minus 2 times n, and you have 6 minus 2n, and that will be your final answer because they are not like terms. Okay, put a star and say unlike terms, you cannot add. All right, you have to leave them alone. They are unlike terms. You can't add 6 plus 2n. You can't get an answer for that. All right, let's move down a little bit. All right, it says the quantity of 6 in a number times 5. So this problem is the same like the ones before. It just put the times at the end. So I know it's going to be 5 times the number, the quantity of 6 and a number. That quantity tells adding. All right. So you're going to factor that 5 out, distribute the 5 out. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times n is 5n, and that is your answer. Okay. Number 6 says 8 and twice the number, all multiplied by 4. Even though they're just switching the wording around, don't get confused. All multiplied by 4. That means all of that has to get multiplied by 4. That tells you that 4 is going to be on the outside, and you have 8 plus twice a number. Now 8 plus twice a number. Now it's just not a number, it's twice a number. So it will be 2n. All right? Twice a number. All right? Distribute the 4 out. You have 4 times 8 is 32. And 4 times 2n is 8n. And that will be your final answer. Okay. All right, we're going to move on to the back. Go ahead, pause if you need to stop and catch up on your work. But I'm going to flip over to the back. All right. So these one on the back are showing you how to use distributive property with the area models. Now, I will say this, area models are good for organization. If you have a hard time keeping your work in order, doing it this way will benefit you in keeping your work organized. Okay, similar to the box method on multiplying. All right, so now we have, you're taking your 4 and your 3x and you're putting your answer in this box, and your 4 and your 5 will be put into this box, okay? Now, these boxes aren't like just split in half like a normal box that you usually will see. You see that one side or one area is a little bit bigger than the other one to show you that 3 times a number is going to be bigger than just 5. Okay, because we don't know what that x means, right? So the bigger the area is the bigger that number will be. Okay? So you have 4 times 3x. 4 times 3 is 12. It adds your variable. All right? So you have 12x. And 5 times 4 is 20. Okay? So basically what we just did, it would be like this. We don't know if we're adding or subtracting, but I'll just say maybe they were adding this one. So you would take that 4 times 3x and then the 4 times 5. And that's where we got it. Okay? They're just showing you an area model. All right, moving over here, you have 7 times 6, which is 42. And you have 6 times 2, which is 2x, so you'll have 12x. All right, so in this case, this will be 6 and 7 plus 2x. All right, you distributed the 6 to both numbers. All right, we have 11 times 5x, and that is 55x. And 11 times 10 is 110. Very, very simple. Okay? And last but not least, you have 7 times 6x, which is 42x. And 7 times 1, which is 7. Okay? Now you have 1, 2, looks like 9 problems to do on the bottom. I am only going to do 3, and let me zoom in on the 3 that I'm going to do with you guys. All right, so I'm going to do 7, 8, and 9 because distributing is very, very, very easy, and I'm going to come back and work on the other 6 with you. So starting with the first 3 at the top, you have your 5, which is being distributed to 3x and 10. So if you need to draw arrows, 5 times 3x is 15x. And plus 5 times 10, which is 50. And that is your answer. And that is it. All right. Moving on to number 8, you have 3 being distributed to the x plus 4. 3 times x is 3x. Plus 3 times 4, which is 12. All right. So being that x doesn't have a number, it's like 1. Think of it of 1 being there, okay? So we wouldn't write 1x, we'll just write x, okay? Number 9 says 12 distributed to 6 plus 2. 12 times 6 is 72, plus 12 times 2x is 24x. Very, very, very simple. So go ahead and pause the video, work on 10 through 15, and at the end, of course, summarize. I'm going to be checking for that in class to make sure you are summarizing what you have learned for a homework grade. All right, so go ahead and pause it and work on that. All right, so coming back, we have number 10. You should have gotten 12x plus 30. 11, you have 4 times x is 4x plus 4 times y is 4y. Even though they both have letters, you can't add those two because they're not like terms, okay? 12, you have 9 times 3 is 27, and 9 times 4y is 36y. Make sure you guys can see those. Okay. And distributing for 13, you have 5 times 2x is 10x, and 5 times y is 5y. 14, you should have got 7 times 2x, which is 14x, plus 7 times 21. Sorry, 7 times 3y is 21y. And last one, 3 times 7 is 21, and 3 times y is 3y. Very, very, very simple. All right. At the bottom, summarize today's lesson. And after this one, you would complete homework number 5. And what you guys are doing, it's going to have a written expression, and you have to write the variable and distribute it how it is. That's why it's important to watch your notes before you try to do your homework. All right. And remember, they're going to have some squared. One of them I see has squared in it. 8 squared less than a number. So you have 8 squared minus a number n. All right. So make sure on your homework, use the letter n for all of them. Okay. So it's easier to make sure you guys are on the same page. When it says 5 times the sum twice the number is n. All right. Put that variable. All your variables need to be a n. Okay, and you only have 8 problems for those for homework, so you guys can go ahead and knock that out.